Today we're going to take a look at the work of Isaac Levitan and how he used subtle value changes in his color to create depth and three dimensions. Today we're going to take a look at the artwork of Isaac Levitan, a Russian painter born in 1860 and died in 1900. So he was only 40 years old when he died, but he produced a lot of work, over 1,000 oils, watercolors, pastels, and drawings. So got a lot of work done in 40 years, started at an early age. But what I want to look at in his work is his subtle or use of subtle value changes to show form. And so we'll take a look at him here. This is one of his, you can see a lot of color change here as well. But we want to look at the subtle value changes. Previous lesson, we looked at subtle color changes within a big area. Now we want to look at subtle value changes within a big area, like looking right here at the orange trees. You have about 3 to 4 values in there that make up those trees. And we tend to look at paintings like this and figure out how they're rendering things. Like, how do I paint and render a tree trunk, the dark green foliage? Is there a trick or a technique for the brushwork or color? But it's more about seeing things in a simple manner and breaking things down to simple values that make it read as a solid or three-dimensional form. And along with those values comes color. Color is the choice we make, but the values have to be pretty definite. Now, when I say definite values, I don't mean they have to match the photograph or even match what you're looking at outside if you're painting outside, because we're looking at a subject, again, either photograph or outside, and we're just trying to interpret in really simplified terms or shapes. So we're not copying, we're suggesting what we look at with simplified values and colors. So let's look at a few of his paintings and we'll break a few of them down. And you can see his landscapes were mostly pure landscape. Once in a while there would be a house or a figure, but he was more of a pure landscape painter. But what I like about his work, especially these big long views, they had a lot of subtle value changes. Like in this field in here, there is 3 or 4 or 5 different values. Now there's different colors also. And you can have a lot more color changes or color variations, but your values are going to be more simple. But about 3 to 4 values in here. You got the lighter green, darker green, kind of a middle value green, another light. And the colors change. But the key when you're thinking about this is not that you have to match all those subtle changes exactly. You just have to show subtle value changes. So I can look at this field in a reference or outside and know that I have to come up with 3 or 4 different values of green. And in those different greens, I might want to change the color subtly. And that's what I did in the last lesson, was talk about subtle color change. Now we want to look at subtle value change. This is one here of a nice painting of a tree, again, very simplified. But there's a lot going on, a lot of detail in the trunk, detail in the background trees. So again, we're not looking at the detail, we're looking at the subtle changes. Let's look at a few more before we start changing things here. So another nice big panoramic view, a lot of value change in the sky from top to bottom. 3 to 4 value changes in the clouds, 4 or 5 value changes in the water, and they're subtle, and we want to show that to show the simplicity. Another one here, look at the value changes. And again, it can be confusing sometimes when you say value or color. Obviously, the water here has color in it, a lot of grade violet, grade ochres in there. But there's also value changes. I see a value there, kind of a half tone, and then kind of a light, then a highlight for the reflection of the moon. But there can be more color changes than value changes. The values have to be more simple. Another one here, here's a black and white of this painting. Sometimes you can see the value changes a bit more. When we look at the black and white, it's got 2 values in the background, and they're simple, dark, and light. Again, a lot of detail in the foreground. I mean, that's just full of detail, but you can tell it's a tree study where he's trying to figure out how to suggest the texture of the bark. And a beautiful painting. But because he has all the detail here and in here and here, he keeps everything else a lot more simple. So if you're going to have a lot of detail, figure out where you want the detail and don't put it everywhere. The one here, a lot of subtle value changes in the green and in the white road here, the chalk road or the grass, and subtle color changes as well. Another one here. So let's kind of break some of these down. When I look at this, I see, a shape here, and I can block it in all one value, and that would work as a block in. Same thing with the water. I could block in the light water and then the dark reflections. Same thing with the trees. I want to break this down to about 3 values, a dark, a middle value, and a light. Same thing here, even though it's all in shadow, there's still 3 values there. So let's take first the trees over here. If we look at that, I kind of went in Photoshop and blocked it out. Now, several different colors, but about 3 values. Light value, a middle value, and a dark value. And instead of worrying about how do I render and make my painting look like foliage and branches, tree trunks, it's better to abstract these shapes and just show simple, more simple, subtle value changes. And that's what he's done here. Same thing with the darker trees over here. He's got the darkest dark right here, kind of 2 middle value darks, and then a lighter in there. Same thing over in here, pretty much 2 values. So if you can see things in terms of shape instead of detail, your painting is going to work so much better. Now again, after blocking it in, you can go in and start adding more detail, but simplify it first with those subtle details. Looking down here at the foreground, I want to break, there's several subtle value changes and color changes in there. I see it first as one overall value, so I'll block it in probably that color and value, and then start doing subtle changes of value and color, but at least the value. I can keep it all monochromatic in this area right here, but I have to change the value a little bit. And those are the value changes. Now, he's doing some blending maybe between the values so he can tie them together, or maybe glazing over and something to pull them together, but he's seeing that bank like this first. He's seeing those subtle value changes. And again, don't let the color throw you, because you could do a monochromatic version of this bank and then even come back later and add some subtle color changes within those different values. But simplify the values first. Got about 3 different values in there. And then lastly, the sky. Also did the water here. Here I've got 3 different colors in the water, here, here, and here, and then the dark reflection. And also have 3 or 4 different values in there. Same thing with the clouds. If we look at it here again, he's softened, blended a bit more, those values, so they don't have sharp edges. But it's better to see it like this, where you're separating the values first. You can always come back and soften them later. Don't feel that when you put down a value next to another value, you have to get the perfect edge right away. I would much rather make sure I got the value range correct. Again, 3 to 4 different values in the sky. Separate them, then come back with a clean brush and push and pull the edges. Or sometimes use a finger or a rag or anything to, or palette knife, kind of softens the edges. Try some different things. But you can see here that when you isolate the subtle value changes, how much more simplified it looks, then start thinking about edges to make it work a little bit better. So another one here, it's a real nice field scene, looks late in the evening. And again, you have this strip of sunlight right in here, right here. But within that sunlight, if you'll notice, there's 3 different values, or maybe 4. So I kind of blocked them out. You got this value right here, here, and then here. And another 2 up there. So I think it's 3 different values, several different, 4 or 5 different colors, but at least 3 value changes to show that subtle value change. Even though it's all sunlit, it's lightest here, and it gets a little darker back there. And that's what gives that area some depth and a more refined look, because you're adding a subtle value change in the color. Again, you can make it monochromatic, a yellow, green, mix up 3 different values. You can always come back later and scrub in another color for some color variation. Now, looking at the field right here, I break it up. Again, about 3 values. Got the lighter value right here. Got kind of 3 middle value colors, and then the darker values there. Now I've got a bit more color change than just 3, but I have 3 distinct values there. Same thing with the tree right here, right there. It's got 3 values in it to show the form. And you can see it there, but again, he's blended, but don't see that blended first when you're trying to look at his work or anybody else's and figure out how they're suggesting the form. See it like this first. Because one overall value will give you your overall shape and the overall value relationship compared to the other shapes around it. Then 2 values will give it a bit more dimension. But when you get 3 values in a shape like this, suddenly it starts to look more 3-dimensional. Then you can think about the edges. Same thing with these trees back in here. I basically just have 2 that he's showing. But again, when you soften the edge between those 2, you create a 3rd. Although I find it better to add 3 values instead of just the dark and the light and then blend to create the 3rd. It doesn't work quite as well. I like to have the 3 values in there. Then I can push and pull the edges a little bit to create that form. So again, looking at this, there's the more finished, subtle value changes, but he sees it like this first, more definite hard edge changes to show the form. And the next one here, taking this one and just looking at the bank, looking at the green grass right here, I'm going to see 3 subtle value changes. Now there'll be maybe 4 colors, 4 or 5 colors, but there's the lighter value, kind of a half tone, a couple of different colors in a half tone, and then a dark value. And that's showing some form. And again, don't worry about the edges or tying it together yet, although you can start with 1 overall value, maybe this middle value first, block in the whole shape, then add the light and the dark value changes. And that first value you start with holds it together. Same thing with the area right here. I'm just simplifying into 3 or 4 different values and just mix up the values and set them next to each other. So you're showing the form. Same thing back here in the middle. I've got 3 different values, probably 5 different colors, subtle color changes, but it's the value changes in there. And make them real definite. Again, you can always soften them. And some of them are real close. There's not a big jump in value between this value and that value. Now there is between this value and that one. It's a bigger jump. But look for subtle value changes to show form. And you don't always see it in a photograph. That's why it's good to go outside and do some painting. Same thing back over here. I've got 3 different values in this green and 3 different values in the dirt over there. So we always see the finished look where the values are integrated and pulled together a bit more and refined, but you have to see it like this first. In the tree, I'm going to look at the tree trunk here, not the grass or the background, but the tree trunk has definite color. Well, we're talking value, but there's also definite color changes. See, this is kind of a warm grayish, almost kind of a warm green, but very, very light. A lot of white, so the color is not saturated at all. Then it goes to violet and red. But the key is the 3 value changes. The light, the halftone, 2 halftone colors, same value. And then the dark within the light there. And then lastly, the shadows up above here. You can see just picking the light, halftone, dark on either side there. So see those value changes as real distinct. He does the same thing here. He's got a definite light, halftone, and a little bit darker, and then the shadow. You have to think through definite value changes, lay them in first before we worry about softening and integrating all the values. Make your trees, your rocks, your field, your clouds, make them look more solid, more 3-dimensional with at least 3 values. I would say 3. 4 is maybe a bit much. Maybe 4 with a dark accent or a light highlight. But 3 is ideal. I think that simplifies the shape and the form better. We're looking at subtle value changes within a big shape instead of worrying about rendering exactly. We look at his paintings again, and they look so finely rendered, but they have to be simplified and have subtle value changes that are more controlled. We can control the values in the drawing. We don't always want to control the brushwork and maybe sometimes how the color comes out. That can be a bit more spontaneous. But the values we want to control to show the form.